Hey everyone, today I'm reviewing the Who Knives V3 after carrying it for about 5 weeks. This was sent to me for review by Carl Pearson, free of charge, so thank you very much for that, sir. Also to keep in mind, this is the prototype, not the final product, as indicated by the zeros on the blade there. Of course this isn't yet released, it's on pre-order. So it is subject to minor changes, although I don't foresee anything crazy going on here. I imagine this is pretty much how you're going to get it. This is the V3, of course, this being the V1 and this being the V2. So it's the third design. This is designed by Carl Pearson of Scotland and manufactured by a company in China. This is available in 2 models for pre-order. They'll be on screen now. You can get the way I have it here for $154.99, or they also offer it with a DLC blackout version for $159.99. This comes in one of these little boxes here, which is like a mini Pelican case sort of dealio. You'll get yourself a little Who Knives white baggie. You get yourselves a little Who Knives microfiber cloth. You get yourself a warranty card here, which I think is extremely fair. You'll get yourselves the socials there, and you'll also get yourself these 2 cards, which weren't included with this as it's the prototype and they weren't ready yet, but they should be included in all the actual production run numbers. And you also get some stickers of the knife and a sticker of the Who Knives logo. So action on this. This is a double detent ball knife. If you want to know exactly how that works, please go ahead and look at the first impressions and disassembly review I did, where I take this knife apart and go into the internals of it, and you can see exactly how this operates there. Otherwise, this is just sort of like a little ball that falls into a hole in the blade, and that's all the force that keeps it open. There's no spring or anything like that. Well, I mean, technically the arm that holds the ball is a spring, but not like this kind of spring. That's not really a spring either. But so action on this is phenomenal. It's either flipper tab or thumb stud, and it just snaps right out. Very easy. Same with the thumb studs, you just flick sort of like that way, and it just flicks straight out, just like that. Flipper tab, thumb stud. And as you can see, if you get good enough at it, you can sort of flip around with this, sort of close it. Oh, apparently I'm not good enough yet, but yeah, you can just, fidget around with this at your desk like I have been. You can also open it inconspicuously, sort of, if you want, by just starting it with the flipper tab and finishing it with the thumb stud. If you don't want to have a knife like flicking around like that in public, which is, I can appreciate very much. So it's just a nice, gentle opening, and there we go. But of course, this is ball bearings this is running on. The hardware on this is all titanium, all T6, and you have a collar around the pivot screws. As you can see, you only have screws on this side, as this is a sort of semi-integral backspacer. It's a part of this scale, so you get it nice and clean from this side. The pivot is a Chicago screw, meaning it's a barrel which 2 screws thread into either side. So both of those thread into an inner barrel here, which is quite similar to the Chris Reeve Sebenzas and all that lot. As such, very much like the Sebenzas, I would highly recommend getting yourself some blue Loctite and just dialing that into your perfect position and then Loctiting it solid so that they don't come undone, because they do have a tendency to do that if you don't Loctite them down. I have done that for all of my Who Knives because as I've been reviewing them, they have come undone if I haven't done it. So be wary. You will want to purchase some blue Loctite. But like I said, that's something that's expected on a... I mean, if it's expected on a Chris Reeve Sebenza, you know... Although I suppose that could be a suggestion. Maybe like the Chris Reeve knives, include a little bottle in the box. Although I don't know how much that would add to the manufacturing cost, but something to think about. You've got yourself a lanyard hole here. You have yourself a completely ambidextrous pocket clip. Again, if you want to know how to switch that over, it's just a little screw on the inside there, and you will have to take this apart and you just put it into this side here. That's all that is, and you can see it's got plenty of like actionable surfaces in there, so that this is very strong and very tight and doesn't wiggle left and right. This is, in my personal opinion, the perfect pocket clip. This is the best pocket clip on any knife for me. It's deep carry, it's matte, not shiny, as a lot of manufacturers seem obsessed with making shiny pocket clips. It doesn't have any like writing on it displaying what brand it is or that it's a knife. It's just an innocuous looking pocket clip that could fit on a pen. Just very, very inconspicuous. Not like something like that, you know, which is screaming Benchmade. It's very large. It's obviously going to show all of that out of the top of your pocket, so there's clearly something in there, and you're probably going to see the top of the knife blade. So yeah, this is perfect in my opinion. I very much like that one. It is not changeable to tip down though, it's only tip up, although that's my preference anyway. The grip on this is phenomenal for me. It's, you know, you've got this beautifully chamfered. I mean, look at the edge on that. That is wonderful. Both sides really well chamfered. And yeah, even feels like a little bit just on the inside there. Not much, but just enough. Yeah, you can see just enough to make it so it's not a sharp edge. But yes, this makes this very comfortable. It locks in the hand. The jimping on here, which helps you grip it when you're flicking it open, also helps it grip into your finger to stop this blade from closing on you if anything should occur. And as you can see, that's really like bitten into my finger there. No problems, will not close on you, especially, you know, since you have this little cutout. But yeah, that's a really solid grip as well. Really, really nice ergonomic holding there. It's slightly better than this one, which I find, although it's great, is just ever so slightly too small. You can see for my big fat fingers there, this little edge here is just sort of into this part of my finger here. And while it's not the end of the world at all, you can see it's not amazing. However, with this one, you have that finger hole and it's just a straight, sort of like, you know, this one, except with a finger hole, so there's an actual place for your finger to lock up into and not just, you know, even though this one's fine as well, it's not just, you know, free reign, I guess. Now I can see this being divisive, very much like the Inkosi was. As you can see on the Sebenza, you have this cutout, a similar one as well. However, the Inkosi added another one, and a lot of people didn't like that, so I can see maybe some people taking issue, although it's in the same place as just the one on the Sebenza, so maybe not. Maybe it'll be an all-round hit, but I personally really like this. I think this is by far, for me, the most comfortable out of all three designs, which is funny because I thought I was going to like this one the best. The fit and finish of this is phenomenal. Everything, you know, of course it's a machine-made knife, it's not handmade or anything like that, but everything's made to great tolerances. Like I said, the centering is on point and still is. There is no blade play whatsoever, not even a smidge. Yeah, I'm super happy with this. Like I said, all the chamfering on this edge here is wonderful as well. You even have like light chamfering on this lanyard hole, so it doesn't cut up your lanyard. Look at that. That's attention to detail. So obviously blade material on this is M390. Now I've carried this for 5 weeks. I haven't sharpened or so much as stropped this. It's been through cardboard, plastic packets of, you know, food and sauce. I work in a kitchen, so just little things like that. Obviously it's not a chef's knife or anything, so I haven't been using it as such, but it's just been for opening and breaking down cardboard boxes and things like that. Now that's not hard use by any stretch of the imagination, so I wouldn't have imagined this M390 to be suffering yet. But let's just double check, and of course this is only a paper test, so it's not really the greatest test, but I don't have one of those sharpness testers. Let's just test the edge. Yeah, I mean, that's a pass for me. It's still sharp enough to cut nice, smooth, long lines through paper after 5 weeks without, like I said, so much as a strop. So I'm absolutely happy with that. Billboarding on this, all you really get is you get the Who Knives logo there, and you'll have a number on yours. This has a sort of middle choil. It's very much sort of a combination of these two designs here. So it's got the thumb studs of this one, it's got the handle shape of this one, it's got sort of like the finger place of this one, and it's got in between sort of the choil. I mean, it's even sort of like the blade shape sort of like middled together, and sort of we've got like a more of a spear point rather than a clip point or a worn clip or anything. But yeah, as you can see on the V1, there was absolutely no choil, none whatsoever. It's just straight ricasso and then edge. On the V2, there was quite a choil, as you can see there. Very big choil. I think, honestly, this is my favourite approach, the big choil. So, probably my favourite choil of the three there, although this one does offer a very small, if you can see there, very small choil just for sharpening, although it won't last too long, I don't think. But again, for the average easy seer, you're just going to be stropping this back sharp, maybe sharpen it every couple of months or so. You know, it's not like we're bushcrafting with these things and out in it every day, so just for the occasional cardboard box, that'll probably be fine. So there is a Victorinox Pioneer, and as you can see, the blade's about the same length, although the handle on the V3 is bigger. UK PK, you can see the blade on the UK PK is bigger, but the handle is a little bit smaller again. As for the American bros out there, we have the Benchmade 940. As you can see, that's obviously a lot bigger. And we also have a Buck 110, which is, again, obviously these are massive. We wish we could carry stuff like this, but there you go. We're working with what we got. Value-wise, I don't think it gets much better than this in today's market. You're getting M390, you're getting titanium, you're getting titanium hardware, which, if you're so inclined, you can anodize into various colours. Like you can see on the V1, I've got on gold and blurple there, and just sort of goldy bronze on the back there, which I'm very happy with. You can also get it DLC'd if you want for an extra £5, which I think is actually a really good deal. That's not a lot at all to have it DLC'd. You're getting what I think is quite a good looking knife here. Yeah, it's very elegant, very sleek, nice lines. Nothing too ostentatious or standy outy or anything like that. Just a nice, simple, pretty sleek design. I really like the blade profile on this one. Look at that. Just a nice huge wedge up the top there, the little flat in the middle, and then the actual edge at the bottom. I think that's really nice. And obviously that's a satin finish, which I think looks the best on these, although again, you can get that DLC'd. I am obviously a fan of this gentleman's work, having purchased, you know, most of the available collection, so I'm certainly no stranger to to this design or enjoying this particular sort of design philosophy. Honestly, out of all of these, I do think this is the nicest. So if you do have one of these, you know, I would recommend one of these still. Even if you have this one, you're probably getting this one because you don't want the flipper tab, which is, I understand, you know, so that's its own thing. Although, like I said, if you are worried about that flipper tab, please just ask any questions to Carl through Instagram or something like that, because the man is an absolute gent. He'll do his best to answer them. He knows his shit, trust me. He's been through Border Force. He's made sure these will legally get imported 3 times with tabs already, and of course he's about to do it again. So he's pre-cleared these. He's certain they're legal. He's had police officers purchasing them because he can tell through the blue light card. But like I said, don't take it from me. I haven't personally done any of that. I'm just telling you what I've seen him say. Ask him yourself. But yeah, so I'm perfectly happy carrying the flipper tab. Really nice premium UK legal knife, in my opinion. So thank you very much for sending this along, and cheers. Fully recommended.